Dan,
So no.
another great win yesterday. A very strong and polished performance. You must have been happy being able to spend some more good time out there with Michael.
Yeah, it was a really good bowling and fielding performance to restrict a really solid batting lineup with some big names. To restrict them to 150, it was a fantastic first half for us. So we sort of felt that we could just go out and be positive, and we didn't have to try and force things too much. And if a few of us got away and got a bit of a score, then we thought we'd make light work of it, and that's the way it panned out.
Must be a good feeling for yourself after missing out in the first game for the next couple of games to really set the tone with yourself and Maxi at the top of the order.
Just good to do my role. So we talk about getting our roles done a lot in the group and identifying what our roles are and making sure that we go out to execute. So didn't do that with the stick in game one, and it's been good to contribute game 2 and game 3.
I read an interesting stat yesterday that up until now the Redbacks had scored 350 first wicket partnerships in the entire Big Bash campaign, and in 3 Champions League matches so far there's 2 century stands. Do you reckon what's made the difference, do you think?
No idea, tonight. No, I don't know. Game 2 I was quite lucky, got dropped a couple of times, and balls flying left and right of the fielders, and but you take your luck because sometimes it doesn't go your way.
So far it's travelled our way now. Looking forward to Tuesday in Guyana. Obviously they haven't probably played as well as they would have liked or got the results they would have liked, but does that change the preparation?
No, not really. We'll do our preparation on them. Most of our pre-game work, as you know, is around us and making sure that we know our roles and going well with our games so we can execute those roles. But we'll have a look at Guyana. We've had a look at them briefly in the games they've played, but we'll focus a bit more on them over the next few days to make sure we know what they're going to dish up for us, and there aren't too many big surprises. So the thing about them though is that they've obviously played really well to win their tournament in the West Indies. You'd actually expect them to play well at some stage. All the pressure's off for them now. They're going home, unfortunately for them in a few days. So, you half expect them to come out and have a real crack and, just throw chance aside and have a go. So, we need to bring our A games against them, and the way we're going, our A games are going quite well.
So, some comment in the media suggested that the pitch down in Durban suited our game more so than the pitches back here at Centurion in the Wanderers. Do you think that's a realistic comment, or do you think that you guys can play on any particular wicket?
I think that's a bit harsh. The reconnaissance from our coaching staff before the trip was that Durban would be a bit lower and slower and a bit more spin friendly, and sort of 150 would win most games there. Whereas the Centurion and the Wanderers venues were going to be a bit more like our conditions at home, where it's going to bounce and carry, and you're sort of looking 160, 170 to be passed. So down there, and actually bounced and carried pretty well. But we're at Wanderers on Tuesday, and we win that. Then we're back at Centurion for a semi on Saturday, and hopefully for a final at Wanderers on Sunday. So, as I said, the reconnaissance is that these pitches will actually suit us more than the Durban one. A bit of bounce, a bit of carry, suit our pass attack and suit our batsmen.
And looking ahead to Tuesday, what would a win mean for South Australian cricket as a whole? To finish top of the pool, and it's probably a big thing considering the state hasn't had probably the success it would like in recent times.
I think a win's important. But it's just not a cricket game, we want to get ourselves up and play as good as we can in this game, and then we'll focus on who our semi-final opponent is, and that's obviously a big game, and then the final's a big game. So it would be great to finish top of our pool and then sort of dictate where we're going to play our semi, which is we can stay here in Joburg, but I think it's for us as a group, when we start thinking too much about meanings and significance of things, we get away from just getting our process right and executing our roles, and we've been doing that quite well.
It was interesting last night at the press conference. A lot of Indian journalists were quite surprised with just how well South Australia as a team fielded, and wanted to know the secrets behind good fielding. And you've probably been, the one driving that within the South Australian team, taking a sensational couple of catches, one ultimately that wasn't quite to be, but it's been a key feature of the South Australian games thus far.
Yeah, just catch lots of balls and do it as often as you can. There's no real secret about it, is there? You just catch as many balls as you can.
And that's something that you think an area that South Australia has been a lot better than the other teams that we've played so far?
We're happy with the way our fielding's going, but we're always looking to get better. In our debriefs, we're constantly coming up with things that we think we can improve on. Batting, fielding, and bowling from all departments. So while it's great to sit here halfway through a 6-game tournament and be 3-0, there are still things we can improve on, and fielding's one of them.